One of the most important things I believe people need to understand about security and privacy is that the whole mentality of verify last and trust first is backwards. You can't verify last and trust first and expect to have a wonderful outcome. In any situation that you deal with from a cybersecurity perspective, information security perspective, you need to understand that nobody is to be trusted in the initial conspects of your communication. Why is that? Because there are a lot of people out here that we call haters. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and back it up, take it in, and go into the lesson. Again, if you're just joining, Jason Tate with Black Alchemy Solutions, we're going to be going over a very serious topic: how to trust but verify the correct way. What does that really mean? Verify first and then trust after you verify the trust works between the communication. A lot of people are taking in different types of attachments, PDFs. You want to go so quick to go get the intelligence. Oh, there's a download here, there's a download here. And you run to a website, you run to a text message, and you say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to trust this individual and ensure mentally, not physically, not through any kind of investigation, that this information they're sending me is accurate, number one, and not infected. Most of the clients that I've ever had, when it comes to a corporate ransomware situation, they have situations whereby they have downloaded some kind of malicious file, they clicked on some link, and they assume that the person that sent it to them was trustable. Number one, if you have an email system that allows you to have videos or photos posted inside of the actual email, let's break some things down. Number one, you can, infect any video, any photo with a link that can track you. For instance, if I send you an email and it has any kind of HTML code in it, if it has a video or picture, I can embed that picture with a link that you will never see, that none of your IDSs or intrusion detection systems or your firewalls will detect, and I'll be able to locate you. More importantly, with that same kind of technology and methodology, what I can also do is I can infect your host machine. I can pivot from your host machine, gain access to your host machine, host in a malicious file there, and then pivot into your network. Why is this important? We need to understand how to slow down. If we're working for organizations and corporations that allow attachments into our domain, allow attachments into our email system, it's time to talk to the CISO. It's time to talk to your business information security officer, your chief information security officer, and say, hey, I would like a filter. I would like some method of ways that I can have a container. The word is a sandboxed environment. What is a sandbox environment? It's an environment by which you actually don't have the file locally hosted on your machine, and another machine, whether it be virtual, whether it be a container, is going to open the file, inspect it, and ensure that you're not getting infected with malicious code. We live in a world where a lot of cyber criminals, a lot of cyber activity has the ability to be nefarious without you even knowing. So I want you to stay protected. I want you to understand that the malicious codes that are out there today is a lot more treacherous than we did yesterday, than there was yesterday, than there was yesterday. Yesterday's malicious code, you could create signatures and identify them with your firewalls, your intrusion detection centers, your SIM situations. But today, you have the ability to evade, to escape those detection mechanisms, because AI is helping infuse a lot of the malicious deployments and weaponized files that we have in this world today. So let's go over some tactics that just get you mentally prepared, because it's a mind state first. Privacy is a mind state. It's a mindset. The more that you adapt the mindset of, I'm going to verify before I trust, the more you will protect not only yourself, but your organization as well. These are things that you should incorporate inside of your organization's corporate cybersecurity methodologies and policies. If you don't do that, when you go to get litigation for a cyber exploitation event, what's going to happen? Your cybersecurity insurance provider is not going to provide you the finances to recoup from that damage because you didn't do the right methodologies in the first place. So let's talk about it. Number one, when you have cybersecurity insurance, I want you to read the fine print. The fine print of the cybersecurity insurance says that you will adhere to laws and regulations set forth by the state and local governments, to include, not limited to, the federal government. And what is that saying? They're saying that you should also ensure that you are adhering to the privacy regulations and standards for the federal government, whether that's FINRA, FCRA, HIPAA, Sarbanes-Oxley, GLBA. You need to ensure that you know those policies because they all require that you have data at rest encryption. They all require that you have some kind of methodology to provide a buffer, a DMZ, a demilitarized zone between your host machines and the servers and the inbound network. What am I saying without getting too technical? Everybody in here has the ability to set up their email boxes to only accept rich text formats. You can go into Gmail, you can go into Outlook, you can go into any of the email providers and say restrict email to rich text format only. And what does that do? That makes any kind of email that comes inside of your network, that comes inside of your email box, limited to the text only. So any of the other files that may be attached, embedded, or invisible will not be posing a threat to you. Why is this important? Because many people are so attached to social media. I'm going to open this. I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. I want to get rich really quick. I just want to feel good. And then you go and open up these attachments. You click on the links and these links drop down a file that is malicious and infects everybody in your family, infects everybody in your organization. Because most organizations, let's just be honest, they don't know cybersecurity. They may have the technology. They may go out and the CISO says, hey, we're going to go buy this technology. This SIEM is going to provide us this level of protection because it was $10 million. But the real reason why the CISO bought that material in the first place is because they got a back kickback, because they got taken out to dinner. So we need to understand that we can't wait for other people to protect us. We can't wait for other officers to protect us. We need to be able to, with agency, deploy the right methodologies to ensure our security, our privacy, and our sanctity in these electronic systems that we codepend on today. So, without further ado, let's break down a little bit more of the methodologies of ComSec. Number one, verify but trust. Number two, we don't click links that we don't know. And there are ways that you can actually put a sandbox environment inside of your link opener or your browser, more commonly known. And you can ensure that if you open up the link and it has malicious text or it has malicious files, that it won't infect your whole situation or your environment. Number two, if you have something that needs to be transmitted of confidentiality, you need to ensure that you have a non-disclosure agreement with that party first. A mutual non-disclosure agreement is much more advantageous than a regular non-disclosure agreement because the mutual non-disclosure agreement is going to expose and express with so many terms that both parties are responsible for maintaining that confidentiality umbrella. A lot of us are getting inside of different investment firms, or we're getting inside of different investment placements and intellectual property transfers, and we're trying to tell people about our new business, and we want to get the information out there so quick. We want to share our information, and then that person, knowing that they didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement with you, is going to take that information and go replay it, or they're going to post your sensitive information on the internet. These things can be mitigated. We can mitigate these risks. We can mitigate these vulnerabilities if we understand the threat landscape. Threat landscaping is understanding that everything that you have from an electronic perspective has the propensity to exploit you. It has the propensity to provide a weakness to your pattern of life. And if you provide some kind of protection to protect yourself and your organization, then you have a level of inoculation. Does that make sense? So let's unpack it just a second, all right? I want you to understand for a second, you can slow down. The rush, the idea that you have to move quickly, that you have to sign it now, the contract needs to be done now, that is the number one methodology of exploitation. Slow down. Slow down. It's not that serious. If it has to be done yesterday, then it shouldn't have been done today. Take your time, read the fine print, ensure that you're not communicating anything securely or with confidential implications over a non-secure line. What is a non-secure line? Regular SMS, regular phone calls. Those are non-secure. When you pick up your work office, hello, this is Dun & Loan office. That's an unsecure line. Don't speak about sensitive things on an unsecure line. Don't give out patient information on an unsecure line. Why? Because that violates HIPAA. Whenever you're communicating anything sensitive, it has to be with data at rest encryption, data in motion encryption, and data in transfer encryption. That is a HIPAA high-tech regulation. Look it up. So that means when you call and they say, hey, can you tell me about my test results? You need to come in or communicate over a secure line. If you don't have Signal, if you don't have Telegram, if you don't have something with FIPS 140-2 encryption encapsulating the communication that you're leveraging, talking about sensitive information, you are breaking the law. And what happens? Why am I bringing this up? Why am I illuminating the law breaking aspect? A lot of cyber criminals and a lot of cyber vigilantes and a person like me back in the day, I would look for companies that don't follow those regulations because you know what HIPAA does? Do you know what CMS, the overarching governing body of HIPAA, does? They provide awards to people who identify companies snitching, ratting, informing. They provide awards. People have become financially free by just saying, hey, you know Concentra down on 45th Street? Yeah, well, they just told me about my sensitive information over the phone, and I know that's illegal. You can listen to this phone call. And they record it, and they give it to CMS, and CMS gives them 10%. 10% of the findings. The average finding is about $1,000 a record. And when we're talking about hundreds of thousands of records, that's a lot of money. So I just want to share that with you so you can have a little bit of insight, number one, on personal communication security, number two, on how to maintain a confidential boundary inside of your organization. I'm going to open up the stage for a few questions and we'll go from there. I appreciate everybody who's here. I appreciate everybody who's been paying attention, and let's see if we got it. So I'm not going to stay long. I want to see if there's any. Hello, Panama Princess. How you doing? I appreciate you being here. Illuminated Defense, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the likes. Does anybody want to get on stage? Does anybody want to ask a question while we're here? This is an opportunity for you to ask high-level conversations. High level. These are not the openings that we used to do in the past. These are the real depths of which I'm capable of and more familiar with. I want to upgrade you a little bit so that you understand where we're going. The Black Alchemy Solutions brand that you've seen for the last year has only been to raise your elevation so that you can understand the communication that I'm conveying now. We've been doing this for a year now, so it's time for you to be leveled up. We don't have time to go back over the basics and talk about how you need to maintain privacy and how you need to look at this. Now it's time for you to raise your vibration and understand that the whole year that you've been following me has been only to get you ready for these conversations we're going to have. Does that make sense? I appreciate you. Grand Rising, everybody. Thank you, Illuminated Defense. I appreciate you. No questions, Mike? Okay, not a problem. Well, you all have a great, fantastic, blessed, and abundant day. I hope to see you at a new live that we're going to have. If you have any questions or concerns, you're going to ask it with respect. You're going to use a please and a thank you because we don't owe you anything in the lives. These are free lives that help you become better versions of yourself, to be better versions of your communication, security, and online security postures. This is what it's here for. So, namaste, namaste. So, I don't see any questions. Oh, I think we have a question over here in YouTube. So give me 1 second. Thank you so much, Mike. What is the question? If you use a please and a thank you, we'll definitely answer the questions. If you do not, I don't see questions without them. So there was a good question. One of the questions was, why do we even have to worry about privacy and security? I love that question. Those questions, the people that ask questions about why do I have to, I'm not doing anything secure, I'm not doing anything, I don't care if somebody looks at my stuff. Those are the people that become victims very quickly. Those are the people that are going to be getting phone calls from the Department of Defense or whoever, the FBI, saying, hey, we got your information from a human trafficking person, and your ID and your identity was used for this kind of malicious intention, or your credit was just charged for a home that you had no business in. If you don't pay attention to privacy, if you don't pay attention to your own security, you will be a victim. And if you have questions more than you have answers about deploying these security methodologies, you're just living in a victim mindset. And I hope that you raise your vibration and understand that privacy is serious. Does that make sense? There we go. So, what's the most secure encryption app, please? Wonderful question. Thank you so much, Zuvi Merch. So, when it comes to securing or identifying the best security app, it's not about looking at the app. Why? A lot of us are just, I'm codependent upon the app. They said they're secure. They say they're great. You see this performance that I'm putting on now? I've got the suit and I can put on the tie. I can do it all. And I can speak with articulation. I can give you eye contact. I can make you feel like I'm only talking to you. I can do that because I understand paralinguistics. I understand how to communicate and manipulate. And most of you are manipulated by marketing. So when you are manipulated by marketing, you're just going to do what the marketing agent says. So when you say, what's the best security app to use? I say, don't worry about the app. Worry about the privacy policy. Concern yourself with the white paper. Concern yourself with the reputation. Has that company been hacked? Do they have any kind of indication of compromise inside of their entire pattern of life from a business perspective? Does that make sense? All right. So I'm glad I answered the question. Yes, okay, I got a wonderful question here. So, somebody is in the information security industry. I love these questions. So, if you don't know, I'm the former Chief Information Security Officer of Experian, a Fortune 25 company or a FinTech 100 company. Experian's the credit agency. I was the first African American at that level doing what I was doing with them. Before that, I spent 20 years with three-letter intelligence agencies doing certification, accreditation, hacker hunting, or cyber exploitation. So I did a lot of red teaming for the government in nature space or in very secure spaces. And I've done fun stuff with special people and other things in the Middle East. So with that background, I'm going to look at one of these questions and give some insight. So please, could you share how you would enforce this ideology while being in the security engineering role? How do you combat the pushback? All right, here we go. How do you combat pushback in corporate America? That's the biggest issue. The biggest issue is trying to bring on board the corporate level or the executive level into the level of security that you need. That's the biggest issue any security person is ever going to come in contact with. Any security person is going to say, this is what we need to do. This is what our inventory is. These are the patches that need to be deployed. These are the machines that are not getting deployed. This is the gap. How do we fix it? Let's talk about it. I hope you have a pen because this is free game. Usually I charge a lot of money for my consultations, but I know I need to give it out. All right, here we go. Number one, use the law to guide your narrative. Let me say that again. When it comes to incorporating or enforcing or trying to urge anybody in a higher level, the department heads, the executives, or the company culture in and of itself to adopt a certain type of security methodology, what you have to do is use the law. Number one, you have to use strategy first and then the law. And what does that mean? You don't go in and say, hey, listen, we're doing it wrong. Trust me, this is what I used to do. I had a lot of energy back in the day. I still do. Hey, no, this is what we do. And this is how you need to fix this hole. And this methodology is incorrect. And everybody says, that person's unhinged. That person's triggered. I don't know why, we just can't do it. So you have to learn how to take notes. You have to learn how to take notes and observe all of the deficiencies that you are having in your organization. Take notes silently. The next step that you do. Now we're talking about anybody just joining. We're talking about how to get a corporation to become more in tune with the cybersecurity policies that are needed in order to protect that organization. So when you have that in mind, what you need to understand is the law will guide you. Fortunately for this generation, a lot of you have the ability to look at laws in the state, federal, or regulatory perspectives or guides that gives you the agency to say, I'm not telling you, because a lot of egos in corporations. A lot of people got their vice president because they know Susie, an accountant, and they know this. So they don't have the agency. So let's talk about how to gain agency when you're trying to incorporate change. Number one, corporate policies always dictate that they will follow the law because their insurance requires it. What are the laws that govern the information security policies and practices that you need to implement? You've got to go out and do that research. Does that make sense? There we go. So, number one, if you're trying to follow me, what you can do is follow me here, or you can subscribe on YouTube or Instagram. It doesn't matter. So I hope I answered your question. You're welcome, my friend. You have a great one. Somebody wants to get on stage. What's going on? How you doing, Wanda? I'm glad I answered your question over on YouTube. I appreciate that. If you ever need some more consultation or some more guidance, that's what I'm here for. Did that make sense, though? Everybody makes sense? I'm bringing you up on stage, Wanda. If you have any questions, if you want to get on stage, you want to have a conversation about privacy, you want to have a conversation about how to move your privacy organization or your organization in a more secure manner, that's what the purpose of this live is for. Wanda, you declined. That's not a problem at all. So you're welcome, Jack. And Benstall, thank you. Wonderful. Okay, all right, Ron, we'll come on stage then. YouTube, we're just going to bring a few people on stage, and I'll even let you pay attention. Not a problem. Let's go on stage. So we've got some as a question. They want to come on stage and ask a question about security and privacy. How you doing? Hello. I can hear you now. How can I help you? Say that one more time. All right, so the gentleman on the stage is saying that he's a part of my mailing list because we have a very extensive mailing list. Thousands of people daily get information that most people pay for, but we give it away for free. And he's saying, I sent out a video or I sent out a picture in the email and it said, hey, if you can read this, that's a problem. It means that you didn't configure your email to only allow rich text. If anybody sends me an email that has a photo in it or has a video in it, I won't be able to see it. I configure my email not to allow videos or photos because I know that people can impregnate or seed, if you will, those pictures or those videos with malicious context. Does it make sense? All right. I'm glad I could answer that question for you. So, what are we saying? We're saying in your job, let's talk about corporate security, right? A lot of you have jobs. A lot of you are not financially free yet. Hopefully, you will be soon. But a lot of you are not financially free yet. And a lot of these corporations do not care. They care about you because you make them money. But when it comes to your personal security, when it comes to, wait, what if somebody hacks me and I hook my computer up to my laptop and I plug in my phone? What if I get hacked? I have a BYOD device. They gave me this phone. My company gave me this phone and I'm taking it home. What if a hacker hacks that and they know where my kids live now? You've got to protect yourself. So you've got to start implementing these security safeguards that we're discussing on your own. Does that make sense? All right. Does anybody have any other questions? You're welcome, Will. I appreciate your positivity. I appreciate all the positivity. All right, I've shed light. That's great. All right, so we've got another question here. You're welcome, Wanda 851. You're welcome. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be providing insights to people who really need it. I'm glad to be giving insights on strategy. So how can I help you? I can hear you loud and clear. Lima Charlie. Okay. I'm going to answer your question with honesty and truth. The person on the stage is asking, they're in the college right now. They've got two security or information technology certifications. They're pursuing an information technology degree and they're anxious to get into the workforce. And you're looking for strategic advice on how to get into the workforce. I'm going to say this with all respect to you. If you don't need to rush into making money, maybe rush into volunteering. And I don't say volunteering to say go work for free. Never do that. Never. I didn't get rich by working for free. What I got rich from doing is understanding where I can place my body and my mind in front of the right people that will pivot into better opportunities. So I hope you're paying attention because I'm about to drop it down for you, okay? Wherever you are, you have a few things that you have at your disposal. Number one, you have a chamber of commerce. Number two, you have a business organization. You have a state business environment. You have a place where there's business that has information technology assets for the state or the city, right? Right? Are you tracking? All right. You also have incubators. Listen to these words. I hope you're taking notes. You have things called incubators. You have technology workspaces where people who want to incubate or create their business, you have places like that. You also have networking. Here are a few tools and tactics that can help you use those different certifications that you have to get into a job relatively quickly. Number one, you're going to have to play the field. What that means in the in the world that I live in is you're going to have to go out and expose yourself. The whole online, I'm going to submit it through LinkedIn. That doesn't work. That's infested with bots. So what you need to do is Go to the Chamber of Commerce. Get a list of the new business in the area. Go on Facebook, LinkedIn, and figure out all of the IT groups that are in your area. Look at the SBA. Go to the SBA office, the Small Business Association office, and figure out which new companies are in the area that may leverage your skill sets. And then this is the tricky part. Did you want to interrupt me?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay. So then here's the tricky part. This is what I was nervous at first, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go up and just talk to these people. Yes. The number how I got wealthy. This is a story about me for a second. It's not an ego conversation, but I'm gonna show you my first client who was a billionaire who gave me my first million. You know how I got him? I didn't chase him. You know how I found him? He found me. How did he find me? I was helping out a university with an information technology problem, and they said, this guy is really helpful. Maybe he can help you. What am I saying to you right now? If I put myself in a position at a university, at a state college, where people didn't generally want to go work, people wanted to go make the big money, and they were getting hacked. So in your case, you could use your certifications to help out in help desk. What is a good position in help desk that would be good for an entry level person? Patch management. That's the best pivot. Vulnerability management and patch management, but don't do vulnerability. Stay in patch management. It's so easy. Windows systems are the predominant operating system for most organizations. So all they use is, Windows SUSes or different types of patch deployments, learning hand in hand with somebody about how to deploy patches, learning patch schedules. What happens with patch management? I'm giving you some game here that I really hope you're paying attention to and you're not throwing away because it's free. I really hope you're paying attention because I've made a lot of money and I've made a lot of my friends and constituents money with this same methodology. When you learn patch management, you know what you're learning? Do you know what patch management is?
Uh, this is when like there's like new updates.
Yes, every organization and every company, every position has to have a computer in today's world. And these computers run on operating systems. And these computers also run with applications. These applications and operating systems require updates. These updates, they can be done one by one. Like each person can say, I want to update my machine now. Or you can have a patch manager that organizes all of the patch deployments for the operating environment. Are you tracking yet?
Yes.
All right. A patch manager is the person that actually does the management. They say, you know what? I'm about to break some game down to you. So I'm going to get technical for a second. So YouTube, I apologize if this is too technical for you, but I believe this individual is technically proficient enough for me to share this information. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Number one, every organization has to deploy patches. They have to have updates on the machines because if you don't have updates on your machine, that machine can be exploited by hackers and cyber criminals. If that machine is exploited by hackers and cyber criminals because they don't have updates, then their insurance, the regulators, and all of their clients will not like that. Are you tracking?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. So it's a position that is forever placed in every organization. Risk mitigation. If you don't have it, that's your in. Oh, you don't have a patch manager? Well, I'd love to get in here and learn how to do some WSUS deployments because here's some tactics. I'm not going to just give you the high level. I'm going to give you the dirt. When you deploy patches, the machine goes out to the internet to download patches from Microsoft, correct?
Yes.
All right. If every machine on the network went out to the internet to download patches, that would cause what?
It will bring down the network.
The network will get congested because you have a lot of different machines, disparate machines going out to the network, going out to the internet, going out to Microsoft saying, hey, I need a patch. I want to upgrade to my Windows version. So these are gigs coming down the pipeline of that business. That's a bad idea. The more ideal situation would be to have a Windows update server or an updating server that does all the downloads of the patches from the internet. And then from that internal position, it deploys the patches to the other workstations. You tracking?
Sir.
All right. So that right there reduces the impact and saturation of the network load, number one. Number two, it reduces the risk of the overall organization so that you don't have to worry or concern yourself with saturation or vulnerabilities of weaknesses inside of your operating system. Are you tracking?
Sir.
All right. Is this valuable to you or am I boring you?
No, this is
Not a
Pretty
problem.
much.
No problem. So when you understand that, you're going to go in saying, well, here's something I do know. I know that you bottleneck is correct. Good answer. Whoever said that, our brain podcast, it creates a bottleneck. Good job. So when you go into that operation saying, hey, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to provide assistance. I'd even volunteer. Don't put out your cards on the table. Don't say I'll volunteer forever. Because if you play vulnerability, you will get exploited like a vulnerability. So what that means is know what your worth is, learn it long enough, maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then segue and pivot yourself into, hey, you think we can work on a little compensation? Maybe it's a little free lunch first, and then maybe it's an out, minimum wage first, and then maybe it's this. Work your way into the position. Don't go hunt. If you do what everybody else is doing to find a job, you'll never get one in today's world. That makes sense?
Yeah, I've been applying on LinkedIn and everything. I just haven't heard anything
You're
back.
not going to hear anything back. You're not going to. That's not how it works. No, you're not. I'm not saying you're not valuable. Don't be disrupted. No, get confident. Get strong. Okay, you just got on the stage with somebody that told you, okay, that does not going to work. It's never going to work. Everybody's doing it. And you're going to be outmatched. You got people that are so desperate now, they got masters and PhDs and they'll work in the help desk. So what I just gave you was the hard game. That's why you want to talk about it. You're like, I don't want to do that though. I want to do the easy. Just submit it so people can't see me and it'll be easy. No. If you want to get rich, and you want to get, or if you just want to be with a job, you're going to have to get out there. Start doing projects. Post your things on YouTube. Don't have to post yourself. Create a brand for yourself so that when you walk in, like, oh yeah, well look, I'm studying here, but I'm learning. But right now it sounds like you need to learn. And if you need to learn, the best way to do is volunteer your time. Am I correct?
So that's very correct.
All right. Well, anything else?
No, I appreciate you. This is. I'm just gonna start from here, do some voluntary work because the last class I had was like a tap expert class where we built projects. I did like a game based on cybersecurity, where it's like phishing, typhoid squatting, and I think the last one was I forgot the name.
It's
But
okay. You don't have to remember
basically,
it.
it's just links in the pictures. But yeah, I did that. I went to different conferences, went to colleges to present that with like two other classmates of mine, and that was like the first experience I've had outside of like college, like to meet other professionals, and that was a good time for me. And I just want to have more interactions like that, so I'm just trying to find more places where I could like I guess deploy my skills
Yeah.
and learn.
So what you're going to need to do is figure out in your area. Like, don't do it virtually. In your area, go online, figure out where the conferences are. Every city in the United States, and it sounds like you're American. So every city in the United States has a cyber office. They have some kind of cyber initiative because there's money in it. Go walk in, put on a suit, put on a tie, look professional. Hey, I would like to offer to you my time. I'd like to know when your conferences are. I'd like to know your schedule. The way you can find that really easily is going to your city council meeting notes. Every city council talks about IT. Trust me. Every city council. What is a city council? That's another conversation. We don't have time for it. You can just go Google it. Okay? All right? You have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
All right. So, what is required to sit on one-on-one with you? Oh, we don't do one-on-ones. It's our one-on. We only do corporation to corporation. We only do corporation. We don't do individual consultations anymore. If you need an individual consultation on privacy, reach out to somebody in the information security world. But to have a one-on-one is very, very expensive with me because as you see, we're doing this. So, but thank you for asking. Thank you so much for asking. We used to do one-on-one convos with people, but we don't do that anymore. I apologize. I see you asking in YouTube, but you know we have VIP clients that we have retainers with, so I have to make myself available to them. And in order to break that kind of retainer lifeline, if you will, you'd have to come with a lot of capital. And I'm not asking for a lot of capital. What I'm saying is we're doing these live, so pay attention here. All right. Yes, there you go. I see square. That's a good one. Good job. Good job. All right. Thank you so much. This is a high value conversation. I appreciate you understanding the value of this conversation. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? I believe we've gone over some very high level information here. We've given out some really strategic advice. We've actually helped a lot of people even look through a frame of intelligence now. So, okay, so yes, rays of light, peace and blessings. Good to see you all day. Okay, so somebody's asking Power Brain not a one-on-one in private, but on how to enhance my opera career. I don't know what you're asking, sir. If you wanna enhance your operation, oh, if you want to get on live, you have to be on Instagram. I haven't figured out how to do YouTube yet. That will be fixed. I have a new team coming in to teach me all these things. I'm a hacker, not a social media person. So, um, so when you ask rhetorical questions, let's talk about communication for a second. A lot of us are wondering how to communicate. Why am I here? Why am I inside of Instagram and YouTube? Because you are where it's at. You are where it's at. The new generation, the people who don't know technology, the people that don't know information security, I came here to help educate you all. So when you're doing that, I'm trying to communicate. I'm not trying. I am communicating to you ways and technologies and methodologies that you can enhance yourself. Number one, don't speak with your limitations. When people of a higher stature of echelon of life don't, I can't figure out how to get to you. That's all we hear. We hear whining, and nobody in the power of in an apex position wants to hear whining. When we hear whining, we see food. So don't speak with your limitations. I just be trying, and I want to be famous, and I want to be better, and I can't figure it out. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about what you can't do. Nobody's your mother or your father. And I'm not coming at anybody. What I want you to do is start using your words with a little bit more power. I would really appreciate if you could assist me in educating myself. I would really appreciate, when you speak with power, it gives more agency. I pay more attention to people who speak with power than who speak with, I can't. All right. I'm just letting you know. All right. Thank you so much for that positivity. Not a one-on-one. Oh, you need a corporate to corporate. All right. So if you want a corporate to corporate, reach out to my email. Our accountings will get with you and give you a quote. We'll submit a proposal and we'll go from there. All right. Yes. Communication is key. A lot of us are speaking in limitations. I wish I was rich. I wish I knew how to be more secure. I don't know how to do it. And what that communication do is it's trying to draw, and it's a feminine trait. I want to show you my weakness so that you can help save me. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. You saw what I did there? I'm showing you that I'm speaking here just to make you comfortable because I know a lot of people are fearful. But when I really speak in the corporate world, there's no nasally or anything. So when you speak with power, you receive power. When you understand your value, you get value back. Does that make sense? When you're working in organizations or corporations or negotiations where your power is what's going to define whether or not you get a return on investment, you need to know how to speak with it. If you don't know how to speak with it, then you'll always be exploited. You'll always be manipulated in any business situation or endeavor. You have to learn how to communicate with your feet on the ground, eyes front, and communicate with power. If you communicate with this, people are not going to take you seriously. They're going to take you as food. So learn how to communicate with your power. Stop speaking in ways that make you feel as if you're a victim. Because when I see somebody speaking as a victim, I say they're not on my level. I'm going to either use them, abuse them, manipulate them, or turn them. Why don't I want to turn them into better versions? That's what I meant by turn. But if I turn you, that means you owe me. And if you owe me, that means you're in my pocket. So if you want to be independent, consider this the streets of education, of cyber communication, and paralinguistics. Learn how to hold your posture when you communicate. Learn how to speak with depth. Learn these things so that you don't get manipulated in the future. A lot of you speak with a lot of movements. If you're not 50-50 and standing 50-50 when you speak, that means you're shifty. Speak from the ground. That's right. Absolutely. Don't be afraid to communicate your weakness, but do it with strength. Here's what I mean by that. If I communicate my weakness with speaking with strength, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not very familiar with networking, advanced networking at the higher levels. However, I do understand that I can improve this skill. I also understand that I have a large network of people that can facilitate those areas of compromise that I may have inside of my technical acumen repertoire. It sounded wordy, but you felt it. You said, shit, I kind of don't even understand what he said. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm on point. I'm not food. You're not going to communicate to me as food. You're not going to communicate to me as a victim. I'm going to always have a strategic advantage in all things that I do, even though you may have an intellectual advantage in the conversation that we're having now. When you understand how to communicate with these kind of pivots, you understand how to move and move in any circle. You're comfortable wherever you go. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Christine. So when you're negotiating, listen, raise your hand if you have a job in here. Whether you have an IT job, you have a security job, raise your hand, keep your hand up if you are making the money that you want to make. Let's talk about it. Let's get fresh. Are you making the money you want to make? Can you take off your tie and do what you want to do? All right, so let's go ahead and get you educated and enhanced. Let's upgrade you. Number one, when I hired people back in the day, you know what I would do? I would pay them the bare minimum. Why? Oh, that makes you evil. No, that makes me know exactly my value, and my budget that I have for my head count for that department is not going to exceed somebody's what I think I deserve. I don't care what you think you deserve. If you didn't come in there standing on business and speak with confidence and let me know that in a crisis, you're not going to tell me what you're going wrong and why your animal didn't do this. I want people that's going to speak with confidence and say, hey, so this went down. I came in. And an interview is more than just the words. When you're getting interviewed, they're not caring about, well, my dog, and Tuesday I need to go and pray. I need to do this. Shh. Because the more you talk about your limitations, the more they're going to move to somebody who doesn't have them. Number two, the more you're shifting your communications, moving left and right when you communicate, it shows me that you're not stable. Does that make sense? So when you speak, make sure you have both feet on the ground, you open up your diaphragm, and you communicate with power. Volume and power are two different things. You feel my power because I'm not moving anywhere. I'm communicating to you directly. Not only am I a man and I understand that when I communicate to another man that the propensity for violence may happen, I'm letting you know on any playing field, on any terrain, whether it's corporate, whether it's in the streets, I am ready. When you communicate, put your feet down and communicate with power. Don't move into a lower vibration. I don't know what I can do. Don't do that. When you know your value, you're going to speak your value. Use your words. Communicate fluidly. That means don't abbreviate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Son? Don't do that. Use all of the words that you have at your disposal to communicate fluidly to the person you're communicating with. What does that do? That tells the person you're communicating with that I respect, understand, and I am in tune with you. When you don't do that, you use abbreviations, you're just telling them that you're not really ready for the job. So you're wondering why you're only making $20 an hour. Speak with your power and you may get 50. I've given somebody $100 an hour versus somebody with more experience $30 an hour because of the confidence and the power they spoke with. They didn't give me excuses. They didn't tell me about their mother who's in the cancer society. I didn't care about that. Well, you're not human, Jason? No, I'm not human in business. Nobody is human in business. And if they tell you they are, they're manipulating you because they will fire you and replace you just like that. Nobody cares in business. This is a business. There's no emotions in business. But you should care about your workforce and people shouldn't be billionaires. Okay. Stay that way. Stay that way. Continue to whine. Continue to speak in that half-cocked way. Continue to be, I want my mother to pay attention to me, not my boss to communicate with me so that I can elevate and escalate and have the mental durability to communicate on a higher stage. I'm teaching you how to get better. Does that make sense? Are you feeling, if you're triggered, raise your hand. If you feel as if I offended you, raise your hand. If you're laughing, raise your hand. If you think this is funny, why are you still here? Why are you laughing and still here? Do you not value your time more enough just to be in a place where you can learn versus laughing at the person that you're listening to? Or are you so insecure that you feel as if you have to say something, so you do a LOL and you do a ha 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 because you're nervous? See, bosses, VPs, executives, we understand the the LOL, this guy's a joke. We understand that's insecurity. That's why we have tough skin. We don't let little things bother us because all are little things when you're a millionaire and you're not. Does that make sense? Or it's not just money, or you have value. Do you have value? Does that make sense? Thank you. You got a lot of people out here, a lot of men, a lot of women who are hyper juvenile. And that's what they don't want to deal with in corporate America. In corporate America, they'll pay a kid by the actions of a kid. If you walk in and you're acting like a child, I don't want to, I just want friends. I just want friends. then we're going to treat you like a child. If you want to be in corporate management, if you want to be a vice president, you're going to have to learn your posture. You're going to have to learn how to take things lightly. You're going to learn how to communicate with ease. All right, what's going on, Monet? Somebody wants to get on stage? Let's bring Monet on stage. All right. Monet, how can I help you? How you doing?
Great morning. I just wanted to get on here and just say thank you and I appreciate you. For some reason, I'm a very confident individual. However, when I get on your live, you make me nervous. I don't know if I'm nervous or it's just, I don't know what it is inside of me that kind of like tingles. So I'm doing this to try to get rid of that urge that I'm feeling because I knew it would come in my stomach and here it is. So I just wanted to do that just to challenge myself. But I would also appreciate, because I have put in the notes earlier, my company that I currently work for right now, they're always getting hacked. I don't know what's going on with their firewall, whatever it is, but IT is always sending out emails saying, don't click on this. If you get this email, it's a scam. What can I do to help the company I work for?
What is your position? First, let's back up a little bit. Thank you so much for your positivity, for your love and your light. Secondly, thank yourself for pushing up against those butterflies. That's how you grow. I don't want to, he's going to make me nervous. I'm going to take him. No, 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 no. That's how you separate the prey from the predators. Now you're moving in your predator mode. I'm not saying you're a predator, like, you know what I'm saying. We don't have to do that. So when you move in that, you understand, okay, well, those are jokes. Those are kids. The butterflies are for kids. I am a apex eagle flying in the air. So I like to speak amongst my eagles. You get what I'm saying? Number two, I'm going to help you before I get to your answer. I'm going to show you how much I'm paying you attention. This is what I do for a living. This is what I used to do. So I want to show you something. As you were communicating, I want you to start becoming more aware of yourself, not the person you're communicating with. When you're paying the other person attention in a receive mode, what does that mean? I'm looking at them to see how they're looking at me, to see if they're judging me. Are you still here? Oh, that was very powerful. We need to just communicate. Come back on stage. Oh no, oh no. That was a really good conversation. I hope you come back on stage. I had a lot to tell you. Don't worry, I'm going to boot these people out. Don't worry. Remove. Bing boom. I got a YouTube. No problem. I kicked them off. Hey, come back on stage. Yeah, that was a good one because I was about to unpack her. Yeah, she was going to be a better version of herself when I was done. I appreciate her energy. Yeah, of course. Your brain podcast. You're right. You're right. Don't put your personal information out here. Even if so when you do passive information, so some people will come in comments or say, hey, this is what I'm going through, to see if you can get the attention of the host because you're putting out information. Apex predators will look at that and say, I'm going to figure out who our brain really is. I'm going to figure out who they really are. And then cybersecurity criminals will go out there and hack you. Don't put sensitive information in the comments. I don't care about your empathy. If you want a consultation because you have an organization, we'll do that. But definitely don't do it in the comments. That's just juvenile. And if you take that lightly, that's fine. I'm not here to be your friend. All right. So I would erase that comment, Our Brain Podcast. Nobody wants to hear about that. That's not how you ask questions anyway. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and delete you. I don't like that weakness shit. Anyway, I want this young lady to come back on stage. I know she's out there. I know she's at this. I know you sit. I know you sit. It was like bang, bang. I want some. All right, anyway. All right. Ex-world champ. Okay. I agree. Do you believe our approach has stayed any different in the human services field as youth development? I'm not understanding what that means. Absolutely, Shadow. All right, so I'm going to wait a few more seconds to see if that young lady comes back on here. So the young lady that came on stage was expressing that her company keeps getting hacked. I want to say this to you loud and clear. Oh, there she is. Woo! Yes. There's a lot of fire out here. Your phone overheated. There's a lot of heat behind this camera right now. Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
No. Number one, those who are never sorry. We're apologetic. We're precise and decisive with our words, but we are never sorry. Number two, what I was communicating to you before we got interrupted by all this heat that we throwing, pow. There's a lot of heat on this line. When you were communicating, this is what you did. I'm gonna show you. So I was calling, and when my name, and when I came, and because my company keeps getting hacked, your movement was this. So what I'm watching when I watch people, because this is negotiation 101. When I'm in the boardroom, if I'm doing a proposal, I'm looking at everybody, the vice president, the chief financial officer, seeing where their insecurities are, because I know, oh, they're weak here, they're strong here. I'm going to get the money. Okay, they're weak. They're not going to contest it. I want 2.5 million. Watch this. I'm about to make you so much better with your negotiations. Count your feet. Count your toes, count your feet. I know I got 2 feet. No, you don't. When you're doing this and you're thinking about how I'm feeling about what you're saying, and you're like, what, looking for my paralinguistics to see if I'm judging you, look at that. That can all be a play. I could just do this just to get under your skin. I could be, other people do it. People in management, especially men with females, they'll do that just to make you feel insecure so they can position themselves in power. That's what weak predators do. Weak men do that. So you may be dating a man that does that to you. It's time to go. Okay. He probably got a short game anyway. So let me show you the long game. Take away your focus about what my linguistics are. And while your eyes are faced forward, focus on your feet. You're focused on your feet right now. I'm not even looking at you, but you feel I'm in your soul. Why? Because I'm focused on my feet. I'm counting my toes. You don't see it. I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's silly.
Right.
Okay. We're smarter than that. All right. When you focus on your feet and you allow the energy to go straight, you don't shift to the left or the right. Oh, I wonder, when that tick goes in your ear and it feels like it's sweating and you feel like, I can't see it, so why'd you get it? It just wants a little bit anyway. If it was a mosquito, stay focused. The more still you get, the more power you have. The more power you have, the more you communicate with it and the more you pull from it. If you want to make a man or anybody nervous and get in their squirm, like when you're squirming, that means that they're not, because they're saying, oh, I'm making her feel some kind of way. Be okay in the silence. Don't be moved. Don't shift. You want to. Everybody wants to move when they're on the X. Stand still. What that does is it tells your energy that you are in this bodysuit and that you have command over the situation, and whatever you believe in spiritually, metaphysically, or universally, it's got your back. That anything physical that comes your way is not going to bother you. That gnat didn't bother me. I just made that play. Make the play. Don't be the play. That make sense?
Yep.
All right, here we go. That's the demeanor I'm talking about right there. You got your neck good. You're like, make the play. Don't be the play. That is demure. No, that is refined. That is still. Stillness has power. So let's talk about your company and organization. Number one, it is not unnormal. When I walk in, I don't even do consultations really anymore. I send my team out to do them now because I'm like, oh, I'm over it. A lot of people in the positions that they have don't know what they're doing. They have enough knowledge to get the position or to put out the fire, but they don't know how to fix the issue of the burning woods. Does that make sense? The dry woods is a problem, but they just know how to throw water on the fire. That's not their problem. We're not talking negative. So how do you fix that? Never give out information about your company on a live situation. So I'm going to talk to you and just navigate through what I feel. If you're dealing with anything with sensitivity, and you are, I can tell by the way your office is. Your office deals with something that's sensitive. You have sensitive information. You're like, shit, how did he know? I'm really good at what I do. So really, I'm really good. So you deal with sensitive information. The law. Now, as a person that may have a situation where other people are intimidated because of situations that we're not going to say out loud, you have to learn how to communicate with diction. Not to be threatening, to use your feminine power as a power, but not as a weakness. The ultimate power in all of the universe is the feminine power, the ability to receive and retransmit with power. Us men, we only have one thing, especially a man that doesn't know his femininity, right? I'm very in tune with my femininity because that's how you win. Watch this. Ask the question that provokes the answer that has to be answered. How do you ask a question that provokes an answer that has to be answered? Did you get that? It's not a riddle.
Yeah.
You get it? This is high level game or instruction.
No.
I hope so. I hope
I
so.
am.
Because this is like, thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars. This is going to make your life better. So here we go. You ask the question that has to be answered because it's on record. Email is a form of being on record. If you don't notice that, some things, if you have a corporate environment, you have a small business, and you probably have certain people that are running multiple functions in hats that they don't need to be wearing. I can tell, right?
Right.
I know.
Right.
So that's okay. You never ridicule. We don't communicate with ridicule like, oh, you're not doing your work. No, 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 no. If you can't open your mouth to create constructions of positivity or build a foundation, we don't open our mouth. How do we ask the questions that has to be answered with the answer embedded inside of it? I was just at a conference. You don't have to lie. Just use this follow through. This is a through line. You can pivot off this through line. I was just at a conference where they were talking about financial records and insurance records having some kind of GLBA, Greenwich Liability Act. Do we need to maintain any kind of regulation to ensure that we don't have these viruses or these hacks continuously over and over because maybe our personal information is being compromised? Maybe, infer, suggest, pivot, but you said it. Once you set it on record, if you get fired, if something happens and you get hit, I put it on record, actually, when you go to the EEOC. Stacy, can you come inside? I know your name is not Stacy. Stacy, can you come? What was this email? So listen, before you speak, you're going to do your research. How I won in the game that I played in corporate America is because before I walked in, before you decided to call me, I already knew the answer. I knew the answer after the answer. I knew everything. So know the answer before you get in place. Understand that there's deviations to policy. You got to go?
No.
Oh. Yeah. I saw you look up. I was like, oh, shit.
I see how I love how you pick up on my cues. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was a spy.
Yeah.
My life depended on paying attention. So I'm paying, you're not used to people paying you this much attention. That's cool. I like
I
it.
am not. It's normally me, the one who's very meticulous and observant, not anyone else. So
Yeah. Well, you're special. You're special. All right.
that I am.
Of course you are. Call your power. There we go. So before you go, so you understand, number one, you have to have some adherence. These companies have to have adherence. If you don't have a legal counsel or if you have outside counsel, it smells like you guys use it. Don't answer. It smells like you guys are using outside counsel, outside legal agencies to provide you strategy on your business. If you have in-house legal, they should be providing you the structure on change management, implementation controls. What is implementation controls? IT is not doing something repetitively. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say it any other way. Every consultation that I've done, the thousands of consultations. That's why I don't do them personally anymore. I've trained a new army of them. Every last one. The IT department that doesn't put in controls that limit or stop the ability for them to get hacked is because of three things. You ready? Number one, somebody at the higher level is asking for, write this down, an exception to policy. I'm the CEO. I am the chief financial officer. I don't have time to have this antivirus and these updates on my computer. That's the only way I could say it, okay? Had to get in my nasals. Those exceptions, huh?
Okay.
Number two.
Wow. I would say that. Okay.
No, because well, yeah, of course. Let's be understanding. Let me explain why. If you are an executive or you're a vice president, that money and that entitlement makes you feel as if you should be different than everybody else, and you don't want to have the things that are going to limit your ability to go and do the things you want to do.
Okay.
This is what you want to do. When you're a vice president, you want to get the laptop from corporate and you say, I just want to be able to log in. I don't want to put in a password. You've heard that. If you've been in IT, you've heard that. They say that, of course. I don't have time to put my fingerprint and then pull out the dongle and then stick in the two-factor authentication. I don't want to do that. Exceptions to policies are always the coup de grace. You know what that means, coup de grace? The death touch. The touch of death. The coup de grace. COUPDEGRACE. All right? Number two. The number 2 method of problematic situations in IT departments that don't implement the right safeguards is there is no policy. So let's get to the first question. How do I ask a question that has to be answered? What is our policy on information technology baselines? I want to understand, or is there a way that I can understand better? You can answer this question yourself. Don't answer it out loud. How many information security trainings have you been to in the last 6 months from your organization? The answer should be in the last 6 months, 2. Every 3 months, you should go through a refresher.
Well, I just started this job in August. I'm taking one right now. Since I've been here, we've been doing like monthly.
Good. Okay, so number 3, it sounds like this is a real question. All right, so it sounds like you're just a target. And when you're a target, if your company's a target, you have to take on different strategies. Here's what I'm sensing. I'm getting my Professor X senses. So the person in charge of IT, the reason why you keep getting hacked is because you keep buying technology and not implementing methodology. Woo! There's I know. Deep. Deep. He preaching. No, really, no jokes. So you got vendors that come in and they'll say, listen, if you spend $250,000, we'll implement this safeguard and we'll do this and do this. And they're like, will it stop us from getting hacked? And then the salesman, who's a salesman, they're just salesmen. They're salesmen. They're going to say, yeah, of course, Tom. Of course we're not going to get hacked.
When I first started, I told my senior manager, I'm like, why do y'all have so many vendors and contractors that y'all work with? Like, y'all can cut back on so many people that y'all outsource. You just hit the nail right on the head. They outsource every little thing. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
When you
And I'm just an assistant manager. So I'm telling them this. I'm telling my senior manager, like, what are y'all doing?
they think we're not going to call out problems. Because I'm not consulting yet. Maybe y'all should give me a call. Maybe I'll come in, I'll fly in because you called me. Anyway, listen.
Look who's calling. My senior manager's calling me on Teams right now. I call it back.
Oh, you sure?
Positive.
Okay.
I run this show, trust me.
What you said. Now, next time you say it, don't move your neck. I run the show. Trust me. It's different. It hits different.
Wow. I run the show. Trust me.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Okay, I know. I'm just so used to movement, and I'm not moving.
Movement is weakness.
I'm not weak.
No, you're not weak. So I'm showing you how not to be weak.
Okay.
I'm showing you how hunters hunt. When a man is sitting in front of a woman or anybody, it's not about man or woman, and I see you moving, I'm like, oh, yes. Oh, you think I'm cute. Oh, because you're nervous. And it doesn't have to, you may not be saying that, but your body's saying it. Your estrogen is like, oh, girl. So if you don't want to admit any of that and you keep it 100% professional, you count your fucking feet.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Oh, all right. Look at that. That even came strong. And she was like, yes, sir, I feel that. The less that you give, your smile is earned, goddess. Your smile is not given. Your smile is not, your mother may have, I'm not talking about you, I love her. I say it with respect. But people may have taught you to smile because it makes you feel more pleasant. Your smile is earned.
Like, why you not smiling? Why you not smiling? I'm like, I am smiling.
No, that's not the answer to that question. For what do you deserve my smile? Why aren't you smiling? Are you smiling? When you exert your positivity, it makes people more nervous because you're not matching the frequency of nervousness that they're emitting. If I have to ask you why you're not smiling, that means that I'm not making you smile. So I need to work on making you smile. Not asking for it. That's the same kind of guy. Are you happy? Why you got to ask it? If you got to ask it, did you arrive? If you got to ask if I arrived, then see what I'm saying? All right. Here we go. It overheated. All right, this was a high-level conversation. I'm sure that her computer just shut out again. Anyway, anybody got some questions? I'm sure she's not going to be able to come back on up. Thank you, YouTube, for still being here. Are y'all enjoying this conversation? Are y'all receiving any positivity from it? Is anybody getting information that is valuable? Let me see it in the comments. Show me that you love it. Show me that you love it. Show me that you love it. Don't take it. Well, take it to the grave. That's right. That's right. Listen, when you move with your power, you understand your power. A lot of us just need to know where our power is. Most clients call me. They call me because they don't know how to fight. Most of my clients are CEOs of companies or executives of companies in a situation. They are going through a merger and acquisition. They're going through some kind of hacking and they want to know how to negotiate it better. I don't walk in and teach them how to be a security person. I teach them how to be a better version of themselves. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate. So when you learn these things, I am not a cyber guy. I'm an all guy. I'm an all father of things. Does that make sense? When I look, the reason why people pay, I'm showing you some things that can help you be better in your journey. The reason why I claim the price tag when people call me and they say, hey, we need you. And I say $50,000 just to get me on a plane. That's my minimum, just to get me on the plane. Then it's going to cost more for the time I'm going to be there. How do you command that much money? How do you command that much money, Jason? Well, you saw what I just did with a young lady. I don't go in and fix the problem. That's what people think they need. People think that they need me to fix their problem. What they really need is to see the solution. The solution is stop giving your power away. Stop smiling so goddamn much. Everything's not funny. You're at war. This is a merger and acquisition. Tighten up. Put your suit on. Talk straight. Now look at it through that lens. The more you laugh, the more you the more you smile, the more you give your power away, the more manipulated you will be. The more you're relaxed, the less you see. The more you're relaxed, the less you see. If there's snakes in the grass and we're doing a merger and acquisition, you're not going to be able to see the plays that they're running. It's not funny. So let's focus. Let's tone it down. Let's relax. Let's look at the devil straight in his eyes and let him know that we're ready to dance. That's what I came here to do. That's why they pay me this money. She's back, and she's back. Let's bring her back. Let's bring her back. I'm so glad you came back.
Always gonna come back.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, here we go. What they're doing. So we've already went over the whole your smile has earned. Watch how much more value you get. Nobody's going to, we're going to let her go. She's giving wretches big. No. I feel as if you're upset that the reaction you're looking for is not coming the way you're seeking it. I like to stay professional in all things that I do. I like to keep it don't frown. You see what I'm doing? Do what I do or do it your way better. Okay. When you need to smile, when you need to give I understand I'm communicating and I'm choosing my paralinguistics because I'm in power of everything. I am the spirit inside of this bodysuit and I'm communicating on the wave pattern that I need to. The words flow through me because I'm not concerned with what you're thinking. Everything that I'm saying is already scripted in my head. I see my words, SEEMY, words, before I say them. So I'm not writing on your board of emotions and triggers. You don't control me. My daddy don't control me. That part. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So here we go. Now, here we go. The reason why they're offloading is because of two things. They have a misunderstanding of the business cost versus value perspective. The ROI valuation they feel in offloading things versus getting a proper they've been burned. They've bought in consultants. Watch, I'm gonna tune into you really quick. Watch, you're like, wait, he's crazy. How does he know? Watch this. They've been burned. They've got managers and vice presidents that are telling the CEOs to bring in these consultants, and the consultants come in and they charge a lot of money, but the consultants really don't deliver. They just take the money, and now they think they have to offload it because they don't want to pay for somebody $200,000 a year to do the actual job. So now they have been overburdened with all of these situations. You're laughing because I'm right. Like ridiculously right. Right, here we go. Here's the problem with that. If you have the leeway without ruffling feathers to look at the MOAs, what is your standard MOA, your memorandum of understanding, memorandum of agreement for any third-party consultant that you bring into the organization? I'm about to illuminate something to you. The risk of an MOA or a confidentiality agreement or a two-way working or B2B agreement that has too much risk offloaded brings too much risk to your company. Let me break that down in slow motion. A lot of people assume that if I bring on an information security manager and a configuration manager and a change manager and we let these people do it for me, that they're going to assume the risk in the event that something happens. What would happen? We get hacked. That risk is not shifted when you offload it to a consultant. The risk is absorbed by the hosting organization. What am I saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down or no? So when you're communicating this, you need to communicate it with a sense of understanding that bringing in third parties are only opening up your doors. A lot of people are not used to the streets, and the streets of business is dirtier than where I came from. Like I come from the mud. So what I'm saying. Say again. They real dirty and be more. I already know. You heard? I already know. So let's leverage some street methodology really quick. If I give you the pack and I say come back with the money and you lose the pack and I still got to pay my re-up guy, who's at risk? Me. The cartel's going to come see me. They're not going to come see you. I need to come see you. When you get hacked, not you, when your company gets hacked and they offload the risk to another third party and they get hacked, the third party, I'm going to go this way, John. I'll see you later. I hope you get that fixed, okay? You got to understand that when the fallout does place, when the proverbial shit hits the fan, excuse my vernacular, but when it hits the fan, they're going to run. So the only way that you can secure yourself is to read the MOA. Read it. What? Read it like you, whatever religion you may be in. I hope you're not in a religion. I hope you're an alchemist. And I hope you understand thoughts become things and there's no such thing as religion. But anyway, let's not go there. Right. Read it directly. Read the confidentiality clause. Read the memorandum of understanding for risk aversion, the indemnification clauses. You should have a baseline MOA. You should have a baseline MOU. It's either an MOU or an MOA or BAA, Business Associate Agreement if it's medical. If it's anything like that, you should read those clauses specifically. Then you need to understand that the subcontractor that is providing that service, if they get hit, what is the liability for you? Then somebody's going to have to do the math. And nobody likes to do the math unless it's the CFO or COO of your organization. And if they're the same person, that's a problem. The CFO is going to say, if you can get them in to do the math, is the value of our insurance policy that will give us coverage going to cover something that is going to cost us more in fines if these records are released open? Because right now you haven't gotten ransom, it don't feel like. Did you get ransom yet?
No.
All right. Next time, never answer that question out loud, by the way. But no, just from a confidentiality perspective. But if you haven't gotten ransom yet and you're just getting hit, you need to the solution is you're going to have to bring somebody in that knows what the fuck they're talking about, that has a history of it, and that can guide or put a CISO in place that actually knows what they're doing. For instance, just hear me out. If you keep going to Susie's Sushi, and every time you go, every Tuesday, Wednesday, you've got food poisoning. And then here's the thing. It's not personal. Like, Susie, I ain't mad at you. I'm just not dealing with you anymore, Susie, because I don't know what you're doing wrong, but that's not my concern. Same thing with your CIO or the people in IT. I don't know what's going on, but it's not normal to have consistent food poisoning. Getting hacked shouldn't be something that you get desensitized with. Oh, we just got hacked and we're going to go through the same rigmarole. No. Desensitization to a hacking in an organization is a lack of information at the higher elevation of the executive level. There's something wrong at that level. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I hope I've given you some insights on your journey that would be very advantageous to your elevation in this space.
Thank you.
Namaste, goddess. You stay fantastic.
You too. Have a beautiful day.
You as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
That was wonderful. All right. Anybody else have any questions? I love these engagements. I love helping people. For real. I really do. I really do. I really like helping. Oh, somebody just asked, are MOAs legally enforceable? Good question. I didn't see a please or a thank you. Don't think you're going to slide in here and just asking questions without a please or a thank you. If somebody wants to know if MOAs are legally enforceable, you're going to say please or thank you at the end of that. Yes, you can book a call with me, but I'm very expensive. I'm like $100 a minute, so you may not want to do that. So I love you for loving my work as well. And there are companies that won't hire a team. Listen, one of the things I learned in consulting, it's never a problem with a person not hiring a team. It's a problem with somebody not communicating in a way that is manipulative enough or convincing enough, which is a better word, to get that change made. You have to be the change agent in your organization. And that doesn't mean beating your chest and I know what's right and you're doing it wrong. No, that gets you fired because it makes people intimidated. You have to learn how to be the change agent. You have to a ship doesn't move quick. Only fast boats do. If you have a big organization, you have to learn how to steer that rudder slowly. Talk to the CFO, get them in line, get them on board with the CIO, get the people, start using your strategy versus your mentality. Are MOAs legally enforceable if they are articulated in the right way? Most people don't know how to draft MOAs. That's the answer, Natalie. All right. Yes, but that takes so much time unless you're aggressive with your strategy. All right, everybody, I don't know how my batteries have lasted this long, but it's come to a point where we have to close. I appreciate this opportunity for giving me time and attention. Give us a like, give us a follow. Listen, if you're on this side, go give us some likes and follows and subscribes on the other side on our YouTube under the same name, Black Alchemy Solutions. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm in LinkedIn. Jason Tate with the U. Look me up. Black Alchemy Solutions on LinkedIn. I am not a game. And I want you to be the same. You have a great, fantastic, blessed, and abundant day. Oh, yeah. All right.